Hey guys, welcome to my channel! I'm so happy you joined me again for the series of How Healthy is Thanksgiving? Today we'll be preparing the starter of our Thanksgiving dinner, which will be pumpkin soup, and analyze its nutritional value. First, we'll heat up a non-stick pot and then cut a small onion. Because this always makes me cry, I use a manual blender to avoid the tears. When the pot is up to temperature, add some oil and sweat the onions. In the meantime, we can wash the pumpkin. Cut it in half. Clean the cavity with a spoon. And make sure to get rid of all the seeds. And then cut it into cubes. We'll also peel 2 small potatoes and half a carrot. When the onions have a nice color, we crush in a few cloves of garlic and grate some ginger. Shortly after, the vegetables can be added and seasoned with some salt and freshly ground black pepper. Now we can add the spices such as cumin, paprika and curry powder. Then we'll deglaze with dry white wine and let the alcohol evaporate. Lastly, we'll add some chicken or vegetable stock and let the soup simmer for half an hour. When the vegetables have softened, we'll puree everything with a hand blender. The soup may attack you, so please be careful. Checking for seasoning and the right texture. And then the soup is ready to be served. Now that we're done, it's time for a quick info break. The name pumpkin originally comes from the Greek word for melon, peponi. After a few transitions through Latin, French and English, the word pumpkin developed. Have you ever wondered what the difference between squash and pumpkin is? Squash encompasses 4 species and pumpkins are counted to one of them. So all pumpkins are squashes, but not all squashes are pumpkins. You can recognize pumpkins by their yellow-orange color and a lignified stem. Pumpkins have few calories because they consist to 90% of water. They also deliver a nice amount of dietary fiber, which helps to keep the intestine healthy. Regarding vitamins, especially vitamin A and carotene stand out, which isn't surprising since the orange color already indicates these vitamins. Our pumpkin soup only has a few calories more and even double the amount of dietary fiber. The percentage cover of the daily nutrient recommendations show that additionally to the vitamins in which the pumpkin excels, the soup also contributes a lot of vitamin K, sodium and chlorine. To go with the soup or the turkey, which we'll prepare in another video, we are going to make us some buttermilk clover leaf rolls. To start off, we need to warm up the buttermilk. Then we'll mix it with some yeast and sugar. While this sits for a few minutes, we'll tend to the rest of the ingredients. Sieve some all-purpose flour into a bowl and add a pinch of salt. Then crack in an egg add melted butter and give it a stir. Now we'll pour in the buttermilk and mix it all together until a nice dough is formed. After kneading it for a few minutes, form a nice ball and let it sit in a warm place for about an hour. Cover the dough with some foil beforehand, otherwise it may dry out. When the dough has risen, we can form small balls and place 3 each in a greased muffin baking pan. Coat the clover leaves in egg wash, sprinkle some sesame seeds over it, cover it again and let it sit for another hour. When the little breads look something like this, then it's time to bake them in the oven at 190 degrees Celsius for about 15 minutes. As soon as the clover leaf rolls take on a golden brown color, take them out and let them cool on a rack. Before you go though, let's see what this recipe has to offer our body. Buttermilk has a lot of lactic acid bacteria, which helps fight off harmful bacteria in the colon and therefore contribute to its health. Buttermilk has the same amount of protein as milk, but much less fat, since the fat is made into butter and the buttermilk remains. Buttermilk, which is produced in the traditional way, contains little lactose, so many people who are lactose intolerant can consume buttermilk nonetheless. Buttermilk has few calories because of its low fat content. Also, it has some salt occurring naturally. The relative numbers show that regarding vitamins, buttermilk especially contains vitamin B2. Also, some minerals like sodium, chlorine, calcium and phosphorus are present. Our buttermilk clover leaf rolls have much more calories than buttermilk by itself, as they mainly consist of carbohydrates. Also, they contain some cholesterol, because we added an egg. The relative nutrient profile is quite balanced, and besides perhaps sodium and chlorine, no nutrients really stand out. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in the next episode of How Healthy is Thanksgiving?